Good morning and welcome to NYSE Live. I'm Ashley Mastronardi. Equities are mixed this morning as investors keep a close eye on new developments in the Middle East conflict. Traders are also digesting May private payrolls data out earlier today. The major averages will look to build off recent momentum. The S&P 500 closed above 7,600 for the first time ever on Tuesday. Meanwhile, NYSE parent company Intercontinental Exchange announced that it's part of Anthropic's cybersecurity initiative, Project Glasswing. As part of the initiative, ICE has deployed Anthropic's Claude Mythos preview into its cybersecurity infrastructure to help identify and remediate any vulnerabilities before they can be exploited through emerging AI capabilities. In a statement, NYSE President Lynn Martin said, quote, "We are advancing our technology forward innovations while protecting the integrity of our state-of-the-art infrastructure powering the global capital markets," end quote. Here's what else is on tap this hour. Applied Aerospace and Defense steps into the spotlight as the company prepares to make its trading debut on the NYSE. After the company rings the opening bell at 9:30 Eastern, I'll speak with CEO Trip Ferguson and Chief Growth Officer Chris Rogers about why now is the perfect time to go public. Atlantic hurricane season officially began on Monday, meaning insurance companies like NYSE-listed Hippo will be busy protecting customers. I'll speak with its CEO, Rick McCathron, about what his company is offering to stand out in a crowded market. Plus, New York Tech Week is in full swing. AI search engine Exa is among those generating buzz. Its CEO, Will Brick, will tell us how he plans to further bolster his platform following $250 million in fresh funding. But we begin with the markets, where the S&P 500 is looking to build off its first ever close above 7,600. Joining me now is Jonathan Corpina, Senior Managing Partner at Meridian Equity Partners. Jonathan, welcome.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
All right, so before we dive into the market, we have IPO today at the New York Stock Exchange. Applied Aerospace and Defense is celebrating its IPO. It's going to begin trading later today. What do traders and investors look for when a stock officially lists?
Always an exciting experience, not just for the company, but for us as traders here at the New York Stock Exchange when an IPO comes public. You know, we plan and we work through the price discovery process, and that's what we value what we do and how we do it here at the New York Stock Exchange. Finding the right price to open an IPO is very important because you've got your investors who have invested in this company prior now who are continuing to hold their investments. We've got retail investors, institutional investors who are coming into the market now that it's going to be trading publicly. So finding that right price is a very important piece of the process. Floor brokers, along with our institutional clients, along with the DMMs, the market makers, we work together to pair up all the market participation orders that we have, our buy orders, our sell orders, to find that right price on the opening. Finding that right price is so important because you want to make sure that there's not a lot of volatility after the stock opens. If you open it too high, it might swing lower. Conversely, if you open it too low, it might skyrocket high. So finding that right price is important. It is a process. It does take time. It's quite an enjoyable process to watch and be part of as we are down here. And it's going to be quite exciting. That happens behind me here on the floor very soon.
And while many exchanges are fully electronic, we do have humans here on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. What is the benefit to having a human actually working to determine this price?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I've been in this business for quite some time. When I started, it was just transitioning to going from paper to electronics here. But having the human element is so important because we have our experiences, we have our personalities, we have our intuition as to price movements and what we think is the right thing to do at certain points. Yes, the use of technology across the board, not only in our business, but in many businesses, is helpful. It helps us become more efficient in what we do and how we do it. But having that human interaction, that human decision making process is always very important. And that comes into play in our pricing mechanisms, what we do not only on the opening and for IPOs, but throughout the entire day.
Major averages coming off another record day, S&P 500 closing above 7,600 for the first time ever. What do you think is driving the rally?
I think investors are clearly focusing on what's going on in our geopolitical issues and the risks that are there. That's what they're focusing on. But I think they're investing on back to the fundamentals of companies, right? We're getting through earnings season, which has had rosy outlooks and some very good returns so far. I think from our economic data that we continue to receive on our scheduled calendar is showing our economy is getting stronger. We are battling inflation, we are battling gas prices, but I think overall, when you take a step back and look from a high level, things are getting better. There continues to be that risk that we're going to have market fluctuation over of the geopolitical headlines that we're going to continue to get, like we're getting today. But overall, it seems like this market is in a one-way pattern and nothing is going to get in front of it. So it's kind of hard to fight that tape. It's hard to fight that trend. As much as you might feel like we're getting lofty, we're getting to some top prices here, there are some headwinds in front of us, the market dictates the price. And what it's telling us now is that our economy is strong.
All right, do you think we're going to see a pullback at any point?
I think we're going to, and I think we're going to have to. And I also think we have to keep it all in perspective, right? We talk about, is there going to be a pullback? What's that catalyst going to be? The market has had such a large swing over the last 9 weeks that if we get a pullback over multiple sessions, 2%, 4%, 5%, in the big scheme of things, it's not that big of a deal, right? So we have to keep things in perspective. Markets can't just go one way. We have in my opinion, we've got a 2-step forward, 1-step back type of market. We're going to need a little bit of a healthy flush out. But when we do get that, those are buying opportunities, not panic opportunities.
And speaking of that economic data, you mentioned we're going to be seeing May jobs numbers coming out on Friday. April came in a lot better than expected. What do you think we'll see this time?
I think we're going to continue to see strong economic data, and it's going to be very interesting how this plays out to our new Fed chairperson as they remain data dependent on what they're going to do about interest rates. And as we see the markets get higher and higher and our economic data supporting our stronger economy, this all is going to feed in to the next Fed meeting. So this is all important economic data. But I think overall, we're going to continue to see this economic data that's going to help support the moves that we've already seen in our markets. It's going to validate it.
And in our last 30 seconds together, what do you think today will bring?
I think today might see a little bit of a flush out early in the morning. But again, we're going to get some more headlines throughout the day. I think we're going to shift our geopolitical concentration to our economic and fundamental concentration, and the market will find its pattern and build a base here. So I think we'll eventually close higher today.
Jonathan Corpina, Senior Managing Partner at Meridian Equity Partners. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Have a great day. Coming up, Hippo Insurance is working to protect Americans from natural disasters like hurricanes and wildfires this summer. Its CEO will tell us how its offerings are standing out. But first, as we approach today's opening bell, here's a message from Applied Aerospace and Defense as the company prepares to begin trading on the NYSE. Check it out.
In an increasingly competitive world, strategic leadership depends on space and defense platforms for communication, navigation, scientific exploration, and national security. The defense technology companies, commercial space innovators, and government agencies developing these platforms need uniquely qualified manufacturing partners. At Applied Aerospace and Defense, our mission is to unleash the power of advanced manufacturing at scale with the speed and agility of next-generation innovation. With extensive in-house design engineering and IP-enabled manufacturing processes, Applied controls production from end to end for unmatched precision and quality assurance. Today, Applied focuses exclusively on mission-critical platforms that operate under extreme conditions in 3 markets. This includes space and launch systems, defense aviation and airborne systems, and C5 ISR and precision strike systems. Our undeniable heritage in space dates back to the earliest spacecraft launches. For launch vehicles, our customers rely on Applied for flight-critical systems from liftoff to orbit to landing. For satellites, we manufacture systems for propulsion, power generation, and payload operations. Our products equip defense aircraft from nose to tail for multi-role air dominance and autonomous combat systems. In the C5ISR domain, Applied delivers a range of antenna and sensor platforms for advanced communications and next-generation radar. For precision strike and missile defense, Applied builds critical systems supporting both forward-deployed and standoff missions. Applied leverages the most comprehensive manufacturing capabilities in the aerospace industrial base. We build composite and bonded metallic products with autoclave and oven-cured materials. We build complex assemblies for dynamic systems using precision forming and machining of hard metal and high-performance alloys. Our advanced materials, including proprietary polymer films and resins, are tailored to challenging customer applications. And finally, our comprehensive assembly and integration services bring it all together with precision fit assembly, including clean room facilities. From raw material sampling to non-destructive and environmental testing, we ensure the highest quality assurance. Backed by decades of experience, Applied brings together over 1,500 dedicated professionals across 11 facilities in 6 states, totaling over 1.5 million square feet of production capacity. From design to delivery to sustainment, Applied delivers 21st century agility and full lifecycle reliability to meet the demands of global leadership in space and defense. Applied is engineered for the edge and trusted to deliver.
It means so much to stand here today on International Women's Day at the New York Stock Exchange. When I look around this room at the leaders, entrepreneurs, advocates, and change makers, I feel something powerful. True power isn't just building something for yourself. It's building something that lifts other women up. That's why I'm using this platform to highlight women-owned small businesses. Gloria once said that dreaming is a form of planning. I dreamed of building something of my own. Today, that dream has become a responsibility. Because the future of finance, leadership, and this economy is unapologetically female. I'm looking forward to ringing the bell and celebrating with you all afterward. Loves it.
We literally have changed the entire baby food industry. To all of these little kids who inspire us and make us want to build a better world, we're actually doing it.
You guys have been there since the very beginning. You deserve everything that happens today.
Welcome back to NYSE Live. Each year at this time, hurricane season has homeowners hoping for the best but bracing for Mother Nature's wrath. Hippo Insurance's goal is to make home ownership effortless by helping customers get ahead of problems and protect their belongings. Joining me now is Rick McCatherine. He's CEO and president of Hippo Insurance. Rick, welcome.
Thank you so much.
All right, so as we approach hurricane season, how are you helping homeowners to prepare?
Yeah, I think the thing that most people really should remember is trying to prepare at this point or even during an event is almost impossible. It's the same thing when you have freeze and you're trying to go out and get things to protect against the freeze. Home Depot's empty of all those types of things. So it really is important for customers to be thinking about this ahead of time and really try to protect their home ahead of the events, not just when the event is coming.
So in terms of insurance, like how can they do that? Like how can they start to take proactive steps rather than reactive steps?
Yeah, it's really interesting because resiliency and affordability in homeowners insurance is becoming the same type of thing. You hear about these one-in-a-century type of events, and these one-in-a-century type of events seem to be happening every single year. So what we really try to do is partner with homeowners to help them protect their homes and do different things to make their homes more resilient, whether it's homes that are built with current building codes, things that make their roofs more durable, things that keep the water from getting in. Whatever they can do to proactively prevent the loss from happening is the best claims experience.
And I understand last month you closed on a $100 million reinsurance catastrophe bond. How does that impact Hippo and its customers?
It's really important for insurance companies to diversify their exposure, and so doing so through catastrophic bonds or other forms of reinsurance allows us to actually provide more insurance to more people, helping them protect the thing that matters most. So having reinsurance is another way of diversification of our exposure. One, from an earnings perspective, to make sure that we stay somewhat less volatile, and two, allow us to offer our product to more customers.
For the viewers who are just learning about this sector, can you talk about or tell us what a catastrophic bond is?
Yeah, a catastrophic bond is a group of investors that invests a bond into an insurance company, and that bond is used when there's a major catastrophic event that happens to the insurance company. So it's a pool of money, essentially, that is utilized when major events happen.
And let's talk about Hippo. What kind of financial transformations have you seen in the past year?
Yeah, we're really excited about the work we've done at Hippo. We're a fairly young public company. The entire company's life is 10 years. We've been a public company for a little bit under 5 years. And so it's really important for us to make sure that we have long-term profitability and sustainability. And when you're a new company, insurance companies have taken decades and in some cases centuries to build their portfolios, get them diversified, make sure their underwriting is where it needs to be. And that's what we've been doing over the last couple of years. So we're really proud that we've had multiple quarters of profitability and expect that to continue.
What changes do you think help drive that profitability?
It really is partnering with customers, because the worst claims experience is one that you're not ready for. And so we try to find customers that want to partner to help them protect their homes, to try to make things not happen as best as you can. Because again, if you're not taking a preemptive, proactive approach, the cost goes up, and nobody wants the cost to go up. So again, that resiliency of your home also helps affordability of the insurance product.
And what differentiates you from other insurance companies offering similar protection?
Yeah, I think something that we kind of grew up in the world of insurtech companies. And insurtech companies really believe that what we build and what we do needs to create better results for the customers. And so it's really important for us to make sure our customers are well taken care of. And when we utilize things like AI or build technology, we're not thinking about it in a way of how do we become more efficient. We're thinking about it in a way of how does that actually help the customer and what they're expecting from us.
And what do you think the role that AI will play in the home insurance market? What do you see for the future?
Yeah, I think AI allows us to make decisions quicker. One of the challenges that exists in the insurance industry, as a regulated industry, your pricing is generally based on what has happened in the past. Unfortunately, we all, I think, acknowledge that climate change is real. There's a debate on who causes it and what causes it, but it's definitely happening. And so making sure that you're ahead of the curve so you can charge the appropriate premium is really, really important. And AI allows you to do that in a quicker way and be more resilient.
Rick McCathron, CEO and President of Hippo Insurance, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Applied Space CEO Trip Ferguson and the Applied Aerospace and Defense Executive Team are signing the distinguished guest book. A lot of cheers from the floor. In just a moment, Ferguson and company leadership will make their way up to the Bell podium and ring the opening bell. There they are right now. Exciting day. It is the day of their IPO, and they will be opening the markets at 9:30 Eastern. And coming up, EXA recently raised $250 million as it develops the search engine for artificial intelligence. Its CEO tells us where he's utilizing the fresh capital. That's up next.
The New York Stock Exchange is a cathedral of the capital markets. So there are a few places more fitting to consider the future of the American financial system than this one.
At At the NYSE, we applaud SEC Chairman Atkins and the entire Trump administration for working to reduce the burdens on existing public companies and soon-to-be public companies.
I believe that we will ensure that the American story, which began in many ways just steps outside, is preserved not by memory or speeches alone, but by the courage of those who are determined to chart its next chapter.
When we talk about the titans of industry and we talk about the titans of finance, there's a reason that we're all coming together still after all these years to the corner of Wall and Broad Street.
We are ringing the opening bell this morning to celebrate the launch of 6 new ETFs by direction.
We look forward to many more. I mean, today's 6, we're going to do hundreds more.
The New York Stock Exchange, the home of ETFs.
Welcome back to NYSE Live. New York Tech Week continues here in the Big Apple. And one area that often captures the spotlight is AI agent search. Exa raised $250 million in a Series C round last month, and it works to power agents with super fast and high quality web search. Joining me now is Will Brick. He is the CEO of Exa. Will, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Congratulations on your news. How will you allocate that $250 million?
Yeah. Basically, we're going to hire a lot of people to build our search, sell our search, and of course, a lot of compute. Nowadays, compute is the way to build the best computer systems in the world. And so we have to train models. We have to build a search engine from scratch to serve AI agents.
All right. And in 2023, Exa announced the first web search interface, or API, for AI. How has that search interface grown since then?
Yeah, so we started Exa 5 years ago in 2021 to build perfect search over the world's information. And then 2023 announced the first search engine to power all these AI agents. But they weren't even called AI agents at the time. They were just AI products, AI workflows. And now we live in this AI agent world. And so the big change has been the number of searches coming from these AI agents has maybe like 1,000x, even more, since 2023. And it's going to continue. It's going to get 1,000x more in the next few years. And so the amount of infrastructure that's required to power this new world is pretty wild.
So if I'm a user, what is it doing? How is it helping me? Is it supercharging my web search? What is it doing?
Yeah, so a lot of companies now are building agents, so AI agents that are doing research, or are like a coding agent, for example, like Cursor uses us, where you interact with the agent and then it's doing work, and then at some point it has to look up information about the world. So whenever it has to look up information, it uses Exa under the hood. So that's for coding agents, for go-to-market intelligence agents, for financial agents. Every agent needs to search the web, and so it uses Exa to find information for the web.
All right, and what industries have made the most of your technology?
Yeah, it changes over the years. So at first it was a lot of coding agents, so we really power most of the coding agents in the world. But increasingly it's financial agents that need to find information about companies, people, news, the most up-to-date information. Basically, to make investments, you have to have full understanding of the world. And so that's been a big emerging industry.
Can you give us some use cases within the financial services industry? Yeah,
sure. So we serve some of the biggest banks, private equity firms, hedge funds. Just an example, one of the big private equity firms uses us to monitor news about 100,000 companies in their portfolio. And so anytime any new information happens about that company, they want to know so they can make better investments. Similar for hedge funds and banks too. Yeah.
And how does the way the AI agent search differ from how other searches work?
Yeah, so basically the entire world of search was built for humans, which is humans are a very different creature from AI agents. And so agents, they make more complex queries. They can analyze hundreds or even thousands of documents. And so you need to build a new type of search engine to power this type of creature. And so EXA was built from scratch to power this new type of creature, AI agents. And so everything from the engineering to the research to the actual end product is very different from traditional search engines that humans use every day.
How reliable are AI agents?
Well, they're more reliable with EXA, because that's why a lot of companies use us.
Yes.
They are increasingly getting more reliable. I think the biggest problem agents have now is that they can't memorize the whole web or the whole world's information. It's constantly changing. And so you need to rely on tools to gather that information.
Okay. And how do you see AI agent search evolving?
So the first big thing is just the number of searches from AI agents will just grow like crazy, right? So we're talking, by the end of this year, they'll search more than humans. In 5 years, they'll search way more than 1,000 times more than humans, right? So the infrastructure required is pretty wild. And then they're going to be doing more complex searches. Basically, what it's going to feel like to use an AI agent that's doing search is it's like a year of research is happening in under a second. So whether you're asking about the news or you're trying to make an investment or you're looking up information about some people or company, it'll feel like it's doing a year of research in under a second, which means everyone's going to walk around with way higher quality information about everything.
And it's taking that all from the web?
Web, but also really we're starting to gather data beyond the web. So it's not just the web.
From where?
There's actually all sorts of data that's not publicly available. And we at EXA, we want to unearth all the world's information, not just the publicly available information on the web.
All right. Well, Brick, EXA CEO, thank you so much for joining us at the New York Stock Exchange.
Thanks for having me.
Don't go anywhere. Applied Aerospace and Defense will ring the opening bell when we come back.
"16 years ago, an anonymous person released an idea onto the internet. No identity, no institution behind it, no marketing strategy. It was just a white paper and a challenge to everything we thought about money. What if money were open instead of closed? What if it belonged to everyone instead of being controlled by a few? Bitcoin survived every attempt to kill it, because the idea itself was stronger than the forces that tried to stop it. And now, today, inside one of the most iconic institutions in the world of finance, we honor a creator who never asked for credit, never stood in front of cameras, and ultimately stepped away so that the idea could stand on its own. Satoshi Nakamoto."
Why are we here? Because Magnum Ice Cream Company is an ambitious company. We're all about growth. And for growth, you need people and you need to have belief that focus on only ice cream will propel this business. These folks here in the room wake up every morning thinking about ice cream, and they go to bed thinking about ice cream. And that's why it will be a successful company that delights the world with unbelievable products.
Welcome back to NYSE Live. In just a moment, Applied Aerospace and Defense will ring the opening bell to celebrate its IPO. The company says it provides advanced design, engineering, and vertically integrated manufacturing solutions for leading and next-gen space and defense tech companies. Applied operates in 3 primary markets: space and launch systems, defense and aviation, and precision strike systems. Examples of the work the company is doing includes reusable landing systems for launch vehicles and solid rocket motor cases for missile platforms. In total, Applied operates 11 facilities across 6 states. And last night, Applied reported that it raised $650 million in its IPO at $20 a share. It sold 32.5 million shares and reported a market capitalization of $3.4 billion. Let's go to their big moment up at the podium. Aerospace and defense employees celebrating today's historic moment remotely to NYSE Live. We're going to have plenty of coverage during the next half hour, including interviews with members of the Applied executive team. A lot of excitement on the floor about the significance of today and what the company is looking to accomplish in 2026 after listing on the NYSE. And the NYSE is not only making headlines here in New York City, the exchange is on the scene at Money 2020 in Europe in Amsterdam, where several companies are making headlines. That includes London-based fintech Checkout.com, which has made a pair of announcements surrounding stablecoins. Moran Kolbecci, Checkout.com's chief product officer, discussed the news with Anastasia Kiski. Take a listen.
The theme for us at this Money 2020 in Europe is a focus on digital payments and digital payment methods. So today we're announcing a partnership with our friends at Coinbase in basically enabling global acceptance of stablecoins on our platform. So what does that mean? Let me unpack that a little bit. Essentially, there are consumers around the world that use stablecoins for whatever reasons, whether it's because in countries where there's not as much card acceptance, maybe it's because local currency is very volatile, whether it's because they have stablecoins because they just sold other forms of crypto. Yeah. So many reasons for consumers to have it. Merchants currently usually don't support accepting payments on stablecoins, and so in partnership with Coinbase, we're facilitating that. We're starting with USDC, which is one of the most common stablecoins today, and essentially through this partnership, from a consumer perspective, they're able to pay with any wallet that they come in with, pay with their stablecoins. From a merchant perspective, it's relatively seamless. They continue to accept fiat on the back end, as they did before, as part of their regular settlement. Coinbase is holding the stablecoin, is facilitating the exchange, and we transmit the money seamlessly back to the merchant. So hopefully this is something that will enable adoption and will really allow us to test out whether stablecoin can really be used as a payment method.
And it seems like you're really addressing a particular friction point in that adoption cycle of really connecting the dots between the various stakeholders in the ecosystem.
Exactly.
Tell us a bit about today's announcement on the second day of Money 2020.
So,
very exciting news.
So the second thing that we're announcing is that we talked about acceptance before.
Yeah.
Now this is about the settlement side. So as a payment provider, as an acquirer, we receive payments from all different forms of payments, whether it's through cards, through alternative payments, stable coins potentially. But essentially, there's a back end of settling with the merchants, paying out the merchants on a day-by-day basis. And so, in partnerships with our friends at Fireblocks, we're enabling stablecoin settlement. So a merchant may elect, irrespective of how they accept payments on the front end, may elect to receive stablecoins on the back end. This is on demand, so I can go into Checkout's user interface and request a settlement in stablecoins. We support USDC and USDT, and a merchant can request these payments settled to them. Again, very similar to our other announcement, we are relying on the services and that our partners provide for exchange, etc. And we're trying to make this as seamless as possible for the merchant in the back end. I think, last year, and these numbers are growing year on year, stablecoin payments and generally there was around $390 billion in payments globally.
Yeah,
and,
it's a big value.
And there's a survey that was done, I think, that was done recently that showed that about 90% of businesses around the world are evaluating their stablecoin strategy and how to leverage stablecoins. And so we think that both of our announcements are tapping into that, both on the front end and on the back end.
And it really seems that alongside, reducing any friction that exists there, you're also adding so many options in for your merchants. And I get the impression that the real goal here is not, a full replacement of the financial rails and how everyone spends money, but rather just giving more options alongside existing payments.
Exactly.
Tell us more about that.
Yeah, I mean, one of our core product principles overall at Checkout is customer choice. So we don't have we don't believe in steering a merchant into a particular payment method or into a particular way of working. We believe in supporting as many options as possible. This is an emerging use case and an emerging payment method that is coming up. We want to facilitate that. We want to enable that, and see how the adoption goes overall.
I think it's magic to see that progress happening. So fascinating to be here, as you say. You've got Money 2020 comes every year, and every year we see so much progress. If we were lucky enough to meet here again in 3 to 5 years' time, what do you think the headlines will be? What are the signals of that kind of progress? I mean, it's hard to imagine. 3
to 5 years is a very long time in this world, and the caveat that I would make is, I personally started working on stablecoins in 2018, where we thought that we were on the cusp of a revolution. And things happened in the middle. Administrations changed, regulatory environment changed, etc. I think that today we're on much more stable ground, if you will.
Yes.
With the Genius Act in the U.S., with the MiCA license that's emerging here in Europe. And so I think that there is a much clearer path to adoption than we had before. So I don't know about 3 to 5 years, but next year potentially, I think that we'll hopefully see more adoption and more users coming onto this platform and leveraging it, and we'll see new use cases, and we'll go from there.
I'm just so honored and so grateful to you, Lynn, for welcoming us to announce our Time Person of the Year, the Architects of AI. I want to take a moment to welcome Chris Lehane. You have been an incredible driving force, making AI accessible to everyone, and we are so glad that you are here with us today. We are focusing on the leaders and the people and the humans that are imagining and building this future that we will all be living in.
We had somebody ask us recently, why are you going out at this time of the year? The reason we're doing this is for our people. It's not about us. Our motivation for doing this transaction is to make this a better place for the next generation. We have a stewardship responsibility to our people to give them a professional and a financial opportunity that's better than what we have. And what I am very proud of is the team that we have here. This is a true partnership in every sense of the word.
Applied Aerospace and Defense just rang the opening bell to celebrate its IPO. Joining me now is Trip Ferguson. He is its Chief Executive. Trip, welcome to the New York Stock Exchange.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's a beautiful day. There's so much excitement here in New York City, and we are just grateful to have this opportunity today to be here with you.
When I asked you about how the morning was going for you, you talked about your employees and your colleagues, and you said, they're having a good time. So how important is it, and what message do you have for your colleagues today on your IPO day?
Yeah, today is a really important moment in the history of Applied. It's absolutely amazing when we think about where we've been, our heritage, but more importantly, where we're going. This new season will bring new opportunities, which we're going to serve our customers in many new missions. But most importantly, this will enable us to invest in each one of our team members and facilities in ways we never thought was possible. So we're incredibly well positioned to grow, but most importantly, we're going to celebrate today, and we're just going to be thankful for everyone's contributions.
What is the celebration going to look like?
It's going to be epic. It's kind of what we actually call our values as well. So we're just, here today, we're going to celebrate with some of our leaders, but most importantly, each site is having a celebration. And I hope they can just take a look around and just realize what a difference they're making in the world.
You cover space, you cover defense, you cover aviation. Can you talk about, in practice, what that looks like? What service are you providing?
Yeah, so when we think of our three market areas, really mission areas, we support space and launch systems. So things like Falcon 9 don't land without Applied. In defense aviation, things like an Apache, a Black Hawk or Chinook helicopter, doesn't fly without Applied. And then when we think what we're doing today in and around sensing radar systems, which directly support Golden Dome, or how we're supporting next-gen interceptor development, which protects cities and countries, we're right at the epicenter of doing really incredible mission work.
Why did you decide to list on the New York Stock Exchange?
Well, the two things that are really common that NYSE and Applied share is heritage. The heritage really of integrity and of supporting freedom, and NYSE was perfect for that. And I wish everyone could be here with us, but you can feel freedom in this building, and it's just amazing.
There are many emerging defense tech and space companies. What makes you unique in the market?
So Applied is uniquely positioned as the leading advanced manufacturer in America, supporting all of the big primes and neoprimes. And the way we think of this is someone needs to build all of the highly integrated, complex systems that go into larger systems. And so we provide really premier service and allow all of these go-fast new mission-based programs to succeed. And most importantly, we're just a great partner. We care about our customers, and we want to be there for a very long time.
And who are your customers?
So we have many customers. You can think of names in the space industry, such as SpaceX or Blue Origin. When you think of defense aviation, you can think of Lockheed Martin, you can think of Raytheon, you can think of Northrop Grumman. You can also think of folks like Anduril. And then we support many other adjacent industries, but we love our customers, we love our team members, and we just can't be more excited for today.
What excites you about this work?
It's really mission driven. I've deployed multiple times in combat, and I really appreciate what it means to support a warfighter. But most importantly, I've got 3 beautiful kids at home, and keeping our nation safe and ensuring that they have a future is why we do what we do.
And that's right, you served in the Marines with your Chief Growth Officer, who I'm going to be interviewing next. Is that a full circle moment for you both to be bringing a company public together?
It really is. So Chris and I have been professional and personal friends for over 2 decades. And you won't find any greater of an American, someone that I want to emulate, a person with true integrity and just professionalism. And so I can't wait for you to talk to Chris. He's a great person, and he's just a trusted friend.
Trip Ferguson, CEO of Applied Aerospace and Defense, thank you so much for joining us at the New York Stock Exchange. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much, and we appreciate you.
All right, thank you. Okay, come on in. Speaking of, we were just talking about how you served in the Marines together. Chris Rogers, Chief Growth Officer of Applied. How does it feel to be bringing a company public with someone you served with?
It's remarkable. We talk a lot about mission and values, and so to have the shared history with Trip is important, but today is really all about our people. And when we think about just our 1,500 professionals, 11 facilities, there's so much talent on our team. And so it's a real privilege to be shoulder to shoulder with Trip, but also with everyone that's here today and everyone that's in all of our facilities celebrating. So exciting things ahead.
What message do you have for your 1,500 employees?
We're entering what's going to be a really dynamic new season. So when we think about what the nation needs, it needs a lot of what we have, which is deeply differentiated capabilities in advanced manufacturing. You think about a massive opportunity in commercial space. You think about a lot of the demand signal we're seeing on the defense side. There's really a lot of platforms that do not operate without our systems. There's a lot of next-gen capabilities that will not come with a lot of the work that we're doing. So every day we're thankful we're able to have such a talented group coming to work, building, and Americans are all about building, and so these are the types of jobs that we're really excited to be expanding and investing in here in the U.S.
And you're in the business of growth, Chief Growth Officer, so you've made a lot of acquisitions over the past year. Can you talk about those, and what is your growth plan moving forward?
Sure. I get a lot of questions about growth, and when I respond, I often start with our customers. So we are strategically very focused on space and defense, but we're incredibly diversified across customers and programs. So we're serving all the major defense primes, many of the neo primes, a lot of the big commercial innovators in space. And so there's just such opportunity to ramp with that group. So when we think about growth, we think about, we've got over $1.1 billion in backlog. We've got $3.8 billion in our weighted pipeline. So organic will be a big part of where we're focused in terms of just executing on those contracts. And then we're also going to be looking, as you mentioned, there's some really fantastic businesses out there that we think Applied would be a great future forever home for.
And how will you allocate the IPO or allocate the capital raised in the IPO?
Our business is such that we have very predictable cash flow from many of the programs that we support. So we're proactive about how do we invest that back into our facilities, into our people, into our infrastructure. So that's a big piece. And then, as I mentioned, there's a phenomenal number of very uniquely qualified small and mid-sized companies who bring something very special in terms of their talent, their engineering, and their advanced manufacturing. We think many of those would have a great home within Applied, so we're also going to be focused on what can we bring in-house that might benefit kind of our platform and benefit our customers.
And today, obviously, you're IPOing. What is next for the company? What's your next chapter?
Number one focus for us is going to be execution. When you just look at contracts that we've won, customers we're supporting who are doing some remarkable missions. Trip may have mentioned just the cadence of things that are taking place in commercial space. We're really focused on earning that trust every day. So we're constantly balanced between development engineering, low rate initial production, and then we talk a lot also about how we bring scale. And so I'd say execution is number one. Investing forward is a big piece in terms of how do we get ready for what's next. And then we're also looking over the horizon constantly for how do we bring our technology to bear, how do we bring fantastic new talent in the business. So there's a lot to do there, and we're pretty excited about it.
You've talked about trust, quality, your appreciation for your colleagues and employees. What are the values, and how do those things align with the core values of Applied?
Our business is really all about delivering on the expectations that our customers have. And so when you run down the list of who we serve, Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, Raytheon, SpaceX, Blue Origin, Anduril, so these are some of the most demanding and high performance organizations on the planet. So for as a team, we're constantly finding ways to elevate the bar. How do we deliver, make our customers faster, more cost effective, but then also provide things from engineering resources that allow them to kind of complete their mission. So so many of our values kind of go back to just doing what we say, being good people, attracting the best, and enabling mission.
And personally for you, how does it feel to be taking this company public today in New York City at the New York Stock Exchange? It must be pretty cool.
It's remarkable, and today is really, it's about everyone else on our team, so I'm thrilled that I get to be a part of it. We have so many things kind of on our to-do list. It's really been remarkable, just the reception we've gotten from just a remarkable high-quality group of investors. And I think it bodes well for a lot of things that are ahead, so it's a great day here at the Exchange.
Chris Rogers from Applied, Chief Growth Officer, thank you so much for joining us at the New York Stock Exchange. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. We will see you on the other side.
I know 100 years isn't much in the New York Stock Exchange laurels, but we're very proud. First U.S. airline to reach 100. The resilience and the determination to move forward despite all odds is something that I think we're all proud of. We've had a great opportunity to celebrate this year. superpower of obsessing on our customers is what makes Delta really great. And my superpower, I'd like to think, is obsessing on them, on these people, so that they can go do the job. And it's not just me, it's our leadership team in terms of making it happen.
It's a bit of a pinch me moment. I mean, everyone's here. Here we just rung the New York Stock Exchange bell. In a lot of ways, it's a dream come true. When you walk around the NYSE floor, it's just emblematic of the American dream. Look, if I can do it, others can do it too. So believe in yourself, work hard, be the best you can be every day, and it compounds.
A plan to go and change the way people fly, it is the next step. When we look back at what we promised to go do and then we go do it, it'll be the foundation of our business that builds us to the next step. And it's because of the people here and what you all did, which was enabling greatness.
Welcome back to NYSE Live. The major averages have kicked off June trading with more than just back-to-back winning sessions. They've clinched record closes both days as well. And joining me now is Jay Woods. He's the Chief Market Strategist at Freedom Capital Markets. Jay, this is a change of pace for us. We're usually up in the studio.
Yeah, it's nice to be down on the floor, back on my old stomping grounds.
All right, so exciting morning. You've been at the New York Stock Exchange. You've seen a lot of IPOs. When a company rings the bell, they're IPOing. Applied Aerospace and Defense. You were a DMM for quite a while.
Yeah.
What is the process like, that price discovery process?
Well, first of all, it's an exciting day for the company. They've reached a major milestone, and they're handing the baton to the New York Stock Exchange, and in particularly their DMM, who is now going through the pricing process. Last night, the banks went through it, and they priced near the high end, so congratulations there. Very well received, and now it'll take a little time. You know, what the DMMs are doing, what the brokers are doing is they're talking to their customers, and they're getting, you know, ideas of interest, levels of interest, and they'll slowly and methodically price the stock. It can take hours, and some people get a little frustrated that the process takes a long time. It wasn't that long when I was doing it, but nowadays we make sure we dot every I, cross every T, and everyone involved knows exactly where the stock is looking to open. So they'll give areas of indication. It's looking 2021. They'll tighten it up as they get closer, and then the DMM with their team and the executives here will come back, and they'll open the stock, and then let the fun begin. It's an exciting time, but this is their day today, and it's a major milestone for any company going public. So to get to ring that bell and you know, talk to you, talk to the media, and tell that story, it's a remarkable day.
How long, or what determines how long the price discovery process takes? You say sometimes it could be quick, sometimes it could be longer.
Yeah, it's an art, not a science. So when it's time to go, we'll know. But usually it takes a couple hours for everyone to really get on the same page and then move the process along. We don't rush things. We just want to get it right. So it could take 2 hours, 3 hours. We don't know. It doesn't matter. When we look back, we just want to make sure that we price it right and that the market wasn't as volatile. And that's the advantage of having a human at point of sale here at the New York Stock Exchange. That DMM who is giving that information, listening to the people, actually having conversations, and then once it opens, adding liquidity to that market, because we participate here as DMMs. We are buying if there's a gap on the downside. We are selling, yes, we don't want to get too much in the way, but we are selling stock to make sure that there are various price points for the retail investor, the institutional investor to participate and not see excessive volatility after it opens.
The major averages are coming off of record highs. S&P 500 closing above 7,600. Yeah, it's a little bit below 7,600, but closing above 7,600. What do you think is driving this rally despite what's going on in Iran?
Yeah, well, earnings. Earnings continue to drive the bus. We've had one of the best earnings seasons, and not just that, but the guide going forward. So it is about AI and technology has been leading us. It was energy in the beginning of the year. Energy's still doing well. But we've been able to shake off some of those concerns and focus on what's really driving the economy, and that's earnings growth. And it's not just AI and tech, but it's the picks and the shovels, the industrial companies behind that build, the Caterpillars, the URIs, the Generacs, all stocks that trade here at the New York Stock Exchange continue to see momentum into it. So it's an earnings growth story. Now we're getting through earnings season. We don't have a lot to digest. We'll get back to the economic data. We got a lot of it coming out. We have jobs number on Friday, CPI, PPI next week as we head into Kevin Warsh's first meeting as Fed chair. Usually Fed chairs, 4 of the last 5 have had a little bit of a struggle, but fun fact for you, we've been up every day since Kevin Warsh has been the Fed chair. Longest winning streak for a Fed chair coming into office. So he's off to a good start, but we haven't heard him speak. Let's see what he says when they meet on June 17th.
Do you think energy is seeing a bump because of the AI data centers that are being built and the increased demand for energy?
Well, energy has had bumps because of Iran when you're talking about oil and exploration there, but when you're talking about the need for energy and utilities, building the grid, it's more of the build out right now than the actual utilities behind it. Utilities have been a little volatile, but they haven't gone explosive. Where the momentum, where the excitement is on that build, is the energy behind it, the quantum computing. We're seeing a big run in quantum stocks. Nuclear had a run last year, has not come back. So we're getting little pockets of euphoria, bubble-like activity, but for the most part, the momentum continues to be behind memory stocks. The SanDisks, the Microns of the world continue to just go straight up parabolic. And then the Caterpillars of the world, new high, biggest machinery company in the world, helping build this. So it's still there, and the backlog, and that's a key word. You know, when you hear companies report, ask and listen to the backlog. It's there for 2 to 3 years. So we have a huge tailwind, and this story isn't going away anytime soon.
And May jobs numbers, we have about 30 seconds left, but May jobs numbers coming out on Friday. What do you think we'll hear?
Yeah, we're looking for 4.3% in the unemployment, which remains stable. I anticipate that number to come in line. What we want to see is how that will impact the new Fed chair when he takes over. So jobs will set the table for economic data and CPI, PPI next week, and then Kevin Warsh will be in the spotlight when we talk 2 weeks. I'm sure you and I will get back up in the booth and we'll talk about it soon. So
Jay Woods, thank you so much for joining us at the New York Stock Exchange as usual.
Thank you.
All right, that's going to do it for today's coverage on NYSE Live. A lot of news moving the markets, the Middle East, as Jay just told us. Earnings are a big story, and we had a big celebration at the New York Stock Exchange with Applied Aerospace and Defense going public. That's going to do it for us. I'm Ashley Mastronardi. We'll see you tomorrow.
Welcome to the public market.
The New York Stock Exchange is a cathedral of the capital markets. So there are a few places more fitting to consider the future of American financial system than this one.
So thrilled for this next chapter to begin today with all of you in this historic building.
The day we went public, it was the most bizarre day of my life. He said, yesterday, Shake Shack was the most beloved hamburger company in the entire country. Today, it's going to be the most reviled stock. He said, you guys are never going to grow into your $46 valuation. How many shacks did we have 10 years ago? 31 shacks. And did I not just hear Rob say that we're going to have 1,500 shacks? So yes, we grew into that $46. It's all because of you guys. I'm so proud of you, every one of you. You work so hard to make so many people happy, and you make your communities better. What more could you ask for?